While WWE has delivered some legendary characters, some must-see shows, and some truly iconic moments over the decades, there are those other times when Vince McMahon's sports entertainment juggernaut has left fans facepalming at how the company has fumbled so many white-hot superstars and can't-fail angles. There's a returning Brock Lesnar, a debuting Sting, the Invasion, who ran over Stone Cold. Anyway, whether it's today in 2019, 10 years ago in 2009, that's how maths works, or even back during the 90s and beyond, Vinnie Mac and his inner circle, not that one, can't help themselves when it comes to failing to capitalize on potential breakout stars, key character turns, or obvious storytelling that should book itself. With that in mind, I'm Adam Wilborn from What Culture, and these are 8 dropped ideas could have helped WWE ratings. Number 8, the Smackdown Top 10 List. It was January 2018 that Daniel Bryan got wrestling fans talking at the prospect of a Smackdown Top 10 list. Said list was introduced as a way of rewarding worthy superstars with the opportunity to showcase their skills in high-profile spots on the blue brand. Sounds good, right? Unfortunately, it appeared that WWE had little to no interest in reality of actually doing anything of note with the Smackdown Top 10 list, and the concept completely vanished within a matter of weeks. In-ring ability being rewarded, wins and losses mattering, leadership being relevant? Never mind all that bollocks, here's the Bludgeon Brothers. And thus, the Smackdown Top 10 list was destined to end up like the rest of the once promising ideas featured across this list, casually tossed in the trash while Vince McMahon maniacally laughs at such an idea ever working. Bastard. Number 7. FTRKO. A while back, wrestling fans were lapping up the heel antics of the recently formed FTRKO trio of Randy Orton, Scott Dawson, and Dash Wilder. Just look at the beautiful buggers. Sadly, that burgeoning stable was brought to a screeching halt after Keith was moved to Monday Night Raw during the recent WWE draft, with the revival remaining on SmackDown. Combining Orton's third-generation veteran status with the revival's old-school shtick seemed like a perfect meshing together of talents who just look right together, especially in matching trunks. Well, sadly, WWE decided that FTRKO had no future because, well, we can't have nice things. With WWE ratings in the toilet right now, you'd have thought McMahon might have been open to having a genuinely top-level heel stable, causing chaos and helping shine up some babyfaces. But, well, Vince. Number 6. Mr. Kennedy as Vince McMahon's illegitimate son. Back in 2007, I looked like this, and Ken Kennedy was one of the hottest rising stars in WWE, having feuded with the likes of Batista, The Undertaker, and even briefly D-Generation X since debuting on the main roster in 2005. It looked as if the sky was the limit for Kennedy, especially once he won the Money in the Bank briefcase at WrestleMania 23. Unfortunately for Mr. Kennedy, injury was lurking around the corner, and a quick switcheroo saw Edge with the Money in the Bank briefcase. But what's that on the horizon? Why, it's a storyline where Vince McMahon has an illegitimate son, of course. The original plan for the mystery of Vinnie Mac's son was meant to culminate in Mr. Kennedy being revealed as the product of VKM's grapefruits. By all accounts, the rocket would have been strapped to Kennedy, and it had become the company's top heel on a collision course with Triple H and Stephanie for control of WWE. I wonder who would have won that one. Of course, that didn't happen, for Kennedy was one of 11 wrestlers implicated in a steroid scandal, thus landing himself a 30-day suspension. On TV, Vince suspended Ken for impersonating a McMahon, and the big illegitimate son reveal ended up being a hornswoggle. You can't help but think about what could have been. Number 5. The WWE Universe is the authority. Don't you just hate it when you make a big hoopla about something, say a load of really great sound bites, only for it to all come back and bite you on the arse? No, not that one. For WWE brass, that's clearly been the case after promising fans the world back in December 2018. To be precise, it was the 17th of December episode of Raw when the McMahon family appeared to apologise for their own turd-tastic product. As Triple H explained to the WWE Universe, we're gonna give you... No, I'm not gonna try that. We're gonna give you what you want. Something new, something fresh. As of now, you are the authority. Finally, the WWE Universe was going to actually be listened to for the first time in what felt like forever. The in-ring marvels, the underutilized talents, and those who were forever battling the WWE system would now get a chance to shine. Right? Yeah, have you been listening to this list so far? The whole "you are the authority" notion turned out to be complete BS. Surprise, surprise. And bar a handful of NXT talents being largely misused on the main roster, nothing really changed. Sunrise, sunset. Number 4. The Anonymous Raw GM. For over a year, Monday Night Raw was dominated by the presence of an anonymous general manager who would use Michael Cole as their mouthpiece. And this noise as a cue for fans to boo. It was painful, it was annoying, it was nuclear heat. But enough about Michael Cole. It could have easily led to somebody being propelled to the level of one of WWE's top heels if the eventual reveal had been handled correctly. Ha! Instead, WWE just decided to completely drop the whole anonymous GM angle in July 2011 when Triple H and John Laurinaitis were handed the job of running Raw. A year later, WWE decided to use Raw 1000 to reveal that the anonymous GM had actually been Hornswoggle, yes, him again, all along. Rather than using the initial year-long angle of the anonymous GM to give a shot in the arm to an emerging talent, or even to just have an already established heel take credit for the painstaking heat generated by the storyline, WWE dropped the ball and laughed it all off as their resident leprechaun being behind the whole thing. Number 3. The push of Wade Barrett and the Nexus. Right, this one really stings because, as you all know, Stu Bennett is my best friend. There's so many things that WWE got wrong with the Nexus, but deciding to halt the initial push of Wade Barrett was the major decision that soon saw the invading force become nothing more than an afterthought on WWE programming. At one point in time, WWE really got behind Barrett as a big-time player, who was mixing it up with the promotion's top stars. Then it was as if WWE brass just got cold feet and decided to stop giving Barrett any big wins. To many, the key moment that killed the Nexus was SummerSlam 2010. The planned finish to the pay-per-view's Team Cena versus the Nexus 7-on-7 elimination bout was to have Barrett standing tall as the sole survivor after toppling John Cena. Unfortunately for Barrett, WWE Creative had some bad news for the Englishman after the finish was changed due to Cena deciding that he should be the one to stand tall. Despite Edge and Chris Jericho thinking that was a crap idea and pointing out how that would absolutely kill the momentum of the Nexus. Big Match John would, as ever, overcome the odds to win the SummerSlam match, and going with that call saw WWE drop the ball on Wade Barrett and his once dominant faction. Before you knew it, Barrett's can't-miss world champion status was no more, as the Nexus saw out their days as perennial nobodies in the new Nexus and the core, with the rest of Wade's WWE career playing out in the mid-card. Love you, big guy. Number 2, the Dean Ambrose heel turn. No, not the one we've all put to the back of our minds amidst gas masks, the sound of sirens, and the memories of body odor-laced promos. Instead, this is about the Dean Ambrose heel turn that didn't happen. From late 2013 and through until WrestleMania 30, the cracks began to form in the Shield. Cracks that were largely caused by Ambrose's erratic behavior. Given how Dean was always the most natural heel of the three, the best promo of the three, and the one who was most capable of carrying the weight of being a top-level singles act at the time, it seemed only a matter of time before the lunatic fringe caused the Shield to explode. What we got, of course, was Seth Rollins turning on Ambrose and Roman Reigns just 2 months after Mania 30. If WWE would have continued with the idea of Dean Ambrose being the one to break up the Shield, fans would have gotten a serious, calculated, vicious Dean Ambrose, rather than the wacky Dean character who soon reared his head to yuck it up and attack people with condiments and potted plants. I wonder why he left. Number 1, the Blackhearts. You have one of the hottest stars in the business at your disposal, with an extremely raw and real story to play off of, and an emotional no-brainer of a feud at your fingertips. But Rather than that, you decide to cool that star off, have him feud with the supporting player, and then turn heel. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the story of Owen Hart in the aftermath of the infamous Montreal Screwjob. After Brother Brett was screwed at the Survivor Series in November 1997, and if you haven't heard of that, how are you here? WWE held Owen off TV for a month. Okay. Upon returning, though, Owen attacked Shawn Michaels at the In Your House D-Generation X pay-per-view, seemingly setting up the logical, natural feud between Michaels and the brother of the man he'd screwed months prior. Taking on the moniker of the Blackheart, Owen had a badass new edge, and the fans were behind him like never before. This was wrestling gold. This was real life blurring into engaging television, and this was the perfect way for WWE to maximize the Screwjob. And then, with Shawn fearing Owen may be unsafe to work with at this time, Michaels had a quick word in Vince McMahon's ear, and the Blackheart was soon transitioned into a feud with DX's second-in-command, Triple H. Not just that, but Owen would soon turn heel and join the Nation of Domination. At a time when the then WWF was taking a beating in the ratings by Ted Turner's WCW, not making the most of Owen Hart's Blackheart character is quite simply inexcusable. And that's our list. Did we miss any out? Let us know in the comment section below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And subscribe to What Culture Wrestling on either iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts from for daily wrestling podcasts. Plus, you can check out more recent videos here. Thanks for watching. I've been Adam from What Culture, and I'll see you soon.